Hello, and welcome to our Create Better Health Nutrition course. This episode is going to be over the topic of whole grains. This is presented by the Abilene-Taylor County Public Health District. Starting off, most of us have an idea of what a grain is, but our main focus is seeing how we can get more whole grains. So, why is that? Overall, whole grains help our bodies work better. They do some great things such as reducing your cholesterol levels, lowering the risk of heart disease, and helping people manage type 2 diabetes. And these are just some of the benefits that go along with whole grains. Whole grains are generally less refined and have more nutrients and more benefits than more refined grains. Some common sources of whole grains are things such as breads, pastas, crackers. There are a lot of different ways to incorporate things like whole grain into your diet. Some things are whole grains that you might not necessarily even think about, such as brown rice, oatmeal, barley, quinoa, millet, and popcorn. So most people wouldn't think of whenever they're eating popcorn or oatmeal that is whole grains, but it actually is. And as long as you have less added sugar and less added sodium to those things, they are generally really good sources of whole grains for you. Refined grains are created by removing layers from the grain kernels. So this process strips away some of those essential nutrients and fiber from the grain. So as we can see, whole wheat has 100% of those benefits from the grain. However, refined grain has about half because it has removed those layers and stripped away some of those nutrients. Another type of grain is enriched grains. So these are grains that have some of the nutrients that were lost in the milling process that are added back in. So it is still not up to par with whole grains at all, but it's a little bit better because they at least try to add some of those nutrients back in. And then fortified grains. So a new type of nutrients that was not originally part of the grain is added in order to improve the nutritional value. So it might have whole wheat. So while whole wheat does have the 100% of the nutrients that you can get from grains, fortified grains adds a little bit even extra to that. Every day, we're going to want to get around 6 ounces of grain. So some ideas of what 1 ounce of grain can look like is about 1/2 of some cooked pasta, 1 slice of bread, half a hamburger or hot dog bun, or 1 small corn or flour tortilla. So whenever you look at this, most sandwiches, you're going to be getting about 2 ounces of grain. So if you're eating a hamburger or a hot dog, that's also about 2 ounces of grain. Some other examples of what 1 ounce of grain can look like is about 1/2 of cooked rice, 1/4 of a large bagel, which means if you eat a whole bagel, you're getting most of the grain that you need throughout the day. 1 pancake that is about 4.5 inches, 3 cups of popcorn, or 1/2 a cup of oatmeal. So whenever you're at the store and you're trying to see what type of grain to get, there are a lot of different words that mean different things. So if you see these, then that typically means that it is likely a whole grain product. If it says whole wheat on it or 100% whole wheat, or if it only lists grain on the ingredients and nothing else. So some examples would be it saying 100% whole wheat flour or just saying oats. So if it does say this, it's likely a whole grain product, and that's the type of grain that we want to see more in our diets. Thank you so much for listening. Our next episode is going to be over the topic of dairy and beverage choice.